Okay, there we go. There she is. Good timing. We were waiting for you to hop back on, Casey.
Oh, hi, sorry.
No, it's okay. All
Oh,
right.
one of mine's on too. I don't know who that is. Who's on? I have a DeRitter number on here. Who's on here? Whose number's that? One of mine's on here.
That's me. That's me, Nikki. Melissa. Miss
Oh,
Melissa.
that's Lucy.
Yay!
Hey. Yeah.
I miss you.
I'll miss you too, girl.
I think I still need to text you back, but yes, we want to come to your lake house.
I don't even remember that you didn't text me back. My life is crazy right now. I live out of suitcases, so it's totally fine.
Well, I need to call you and just chat and not on a Zoom session where I can't see your face.
Yeah. No problem. It's good to be here.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Just want to apologize that we haven't had like a face-to-face Zoom session in a while. I think sometimes it's good to bring other people in, and just share those videos and stuff like that. But I definitely miss the one-on-one time that we get here. So anyways, thank you for those of you who hopped on. Where was my thing? This is the wrong one. Oh, yeah. So I wanted to go over a couple announcements. Next week, we're actually going to have the guy, I don't know if it's the guy who does Teamzy or somebody is going to explain Teamzy specifically to our team. So that's a really cool training. Of course, it will be recorded. But for anybody who's looking to implement a new tracking system or who has kind of started using Teamzy and got overwhelmed, that's going to be a great call to get on because the Teamzy guy himself is going to be there explaining it to our team in a live Q&A form. So that's awesome. That's going to be on the 20th next week at the same time, our team call time. We have the Team Cup coming up in April, which is going to be huge for us. You'll hear all about it at Summit, but for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just a time for everybody to get together and really have an awesome month. And I don't know all the details. I know usually you can only have one person, one diamond per team. And hey, Amanda. So I forget all the point details. I'm not going to go into that tonight. Just want to let you know that it's coming. So start thinking about if you are a leader on the team, and either you're a diamond or you want to be a diamond, whatever. Make sure that you start thinking about your 4 to 5 people. Do you guys know, have you read the FAQs, how many people it is? It's either 4 or 5. 5? Okay, so cool. Teams of 5. So just thinking about who you want that to be. And then Summit. For anybody who's going to Summit, which everybody's face that I can see here is going to be there, try your hardest to get that Success Club in before you go to Summit so that you're not stressing about it there. Hopefully you'll still rack in some coaches or some points after you get home from Summit, but just from previous experience, you don't want to be there and be stressing about how to rack in those points because really you get back from Summit and it's like the 31st or the 30th, So anyways, make it your goal to have that locked in before you go to Summit. So you can go there and kind of enjoy, hey. And I think that's really, and Super Saturday, that's going to be on the 6th, which is the Saturday right after Summit. So start finding your closest one. Even if you didn't have a Super Saturday next to you last time, maybe there's a new emerging coach that has one now. So definitely plug in and try to bring as many people as you can. Those are awesome recruiting events. I know there's Space Coast one, which you guys, half of you will be at and stuff like that, which is really cool. You're going to get to see each other again after Summit, which is awesome. So if you guys have a pen and paper, go ahead and grab one. Hopefully it'll be something worth note-taking, maybe not, just a little self-reflection time, but I was reading over some notes, and that's kind of usually where I get my inspiration for these calls. Just like Teresa said, sometimes we don't know what the heck to talk about, so I'll just review old notes. I'm like, yeah, we could probably go over that now. So that's kind of what I'm going over. But I want you guys to make sure that believe that you can make a difference, and also, importantly, believe that our company makes a difference. If you can believe those things, that you make a difference and your company makes a difference, you can just talk to people with such confidence. You know that I can help you, and I know that I have the products to help you. And you have proof of that. You have, whether it's your own transformation stories or it's your, coaches or challengers, just having that confidence that you can make a difference in someone's life and you have the tools is just a really good mindset reminder, because sometimes we kind of fall out of that and we get in that self-talk am I really a good enough coach? And that's not good. Yes, you are. You can help anybody. You just need to be their cheerleader. So I was just going to go over an overview of how this business works for, I don't know, there's a couple newer people that are hopping on the phone calls and stuff like that for anybody who listens to this. So maybe we'll just have a different Q&A at the end, but just wanted to go down the line of kind of how this business works, because sometimes we will get too focused on what we need to be learning, and we'll like shy away from something that's really more important. So as I go down these lists, I want you guys to write them down and put a check mark next to the ones that you feel 100% confident about, okay? Put a question mark next to the ones where you're like, I know what to do, but I could improve in that area type of thing. Okay, so first one is forming relationships. That's the first step as a coach, right? We're always trying to make relationships. Think about how you make relationships, where you make them, whether it's at the playground, do you make them at the gym? We're just always trying to get to know people, right? If you're not a friendly person, or you don't like to go out face to face, then that's fine. You can do it behind the computer screen on Facebook groups. If you prefer face to face interactions, then you got to get out in your community and start networking there and just building that relationship. The second thing is invite to challenge groups. How are you, or your free groups, or just inviting to a coaching opportunity, just inviting in general to a group. How do you feel like you are there? Number 3, creating advocates, creating people that love our products, whether it's Shakeology, the Performance Line, our programs, our Derm exclusive. How do you feel like you are when you're like creating those advocates, and where do you create them? Is it in your challenge groups? Is it just talking to people in the grocery store? Like, where do those people come from for you? For the most part, it's challenge groups, but not everybody. Some people, like Nikki, might get them from her size classes. Like everybody, it's different for everybody. Okay, the next one is inviting someone to become a coach. Okay, that can be inviting, Casey, I saw your little side grin there. You're like, eh. So inviting somebody to become a coach, and that could be like to a coaching call. That could be inviting to a coaching sneak peek group, or just asking them, hey, have you ever considered doing what I do? However that is for you, okay? That's the next step. And then the next one is onboarding your team. How do you onboard a new coach? Okay, and again, remember, next to these, you're supposed to be putting check marks like got it, like a boss, or question mark like you could improve, or, like it's not your strength area. So onboarding people. Hopefully, we have a system for starting new coaches. And hopefully you guys saw my live video about the photo album, but as you become a leader and you have your own team, you may want to do it a totally different way, and that's completely fine. But when you sign up a coach tomorrow, do you freak out? Like, do you not know what the heck to do? Or do you feel confident? You know exactly the next steps. Okay, I am going to welcome them on the team page with a collage. I'm going to make sure the admin approves them. I'm going to send them a new coach email. I'm going to send them a little questionnaire if you do that. And then I'm going to have a get started right call with them. And then I'm going to add them into the new coach training, however you run that. And then you're going to have a follow-up call with them. Like, that's personally my process, but you can do it totally different, whatever works for you. But if you sign a coach tomorrow, do you know exactly what you're going to do? Okay, so just think about that. And if you want to change something, like for me personally, I had a couple coaches where I sent them this extremely detailed Google form to fill out, and one girl totally rocked it. She sent it that night, and then the other 2 people I sent it to were like, whoa, that is way too much, So got to find something in between. I'm personally going to go back and revamp that, but it's always a process. So don't feel like you need to have like the best getting started right, thing. You just need to have something and then always improving. The worst thing you want to do is just like get stuck and not invite anyone to your team because you don't know what to do. Just invite them and figure it out as you go. All right. You guys are all awesome coaches. You're going to figure it out. You're going to ask your coach for help, whatever. The last one is developing your coaches into team leaders. Do you feel confident on how to train your coaches to run their own team pages? Do you feel comfortable teaching your coaches how to train their new coaches? So take a second, just go down that list. I'm going to be quiet for a second, and give me a thumbs up when you have your check marks and your question marks written down. Good? All right, so I'm going to call you out. Teresa, which one is your question mark?
I have a couple, but I think forming is, I think just building relationships in general is hard for me. Like I have like the same one friend that I've had my entire life. So that's definitely like an uncomfortable area for me. Inviting, I don't really mind that so much, but I feel like if I got better at the forming process, then I would have way more invites. So that's my.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's like the first step. So obviously kind of important, right? And I know we've talked about that before. Like we'd rather stay at home in our pants and just drink wine and like not necessarily go out and talk to people, but sometimes we have to. Like think about things you can do that you are comfortable with. Like for example, the Bachelorette finale is coming up and I have a couple girls that like in my neighborhood, and if you know my situation, I'm just trying to genuinely make friends here in Austin because I'm in a new place. And I'm even sometimes hesitant to like add, so I'll kind of the same situation as you. I'm hesitant to let them know that I'm a Beachbody coach because I don't want them to like steer away from me, if that makes sense. Like if they know somebody else. So I'm trying to take those relationships really slow because I genuinely want like friends here, right? So I can relate to you on that, the forming relationships. But Bachelor night is coming up, or like the finale. I'm like, okay, maybe this is my turn to actually host a event or something. So whatever that is, whether it's a Bible study or, you know, whatever it is for you, just talking to people. That's all it is for relationships. Nikki, what's yours? Your question marks.
My question marks are inviting to become a coach, onboarding, and developing coaches into team leaders. Those are my 3, I think, weaknesses.
And that makes sense because they're the last 3, you know, like you normally as a coach, you kind of get the first couple and then, but everybody's strengths and weaknesses are different. Casey, how about you?
I gave myself a check minus on inviting to challenge groups.
Okay.
And then the last 3 too, inviting someone to become a coach, and then onboarding I'm okay with, but then definitely not developing my coaches into team leaders.
Okay. Amanda?
2 through 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So
I
you're
feel like
super good at making
at
relationships.
forming relationships. Like I feel like I have a ton of people I know, a ton of face-to-face relationships, but it's hard getting them from the relationships through the rest.
And I feel like you run a lot of free groups, right? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of, no? I don't know. I feel like that's a good wheel into, you know, if you want to add a step in between forming relationships and inviting to challenge groups. Obviously the free groups are in there, but it doesn't have to be a free group, guys. Like it can be like a race. Like, hey, do you want to go run a 5K with me? Like it shows that you're still active. Do you want to go do some yoga on the beach, or I found this new studio, let's go do this, you know, because then when you're there, and if you're in an active environment, it's gonna come up, you know, like, oh man, I need to work on my abs today because I've been drinking too much wine, or like just something active is gonna come up. Oh, I got a solution for you, you know, like, so anyways, if you don't like hosting those free groups because you feel like maybe you don't get anything out of it, or you put in so much effort, like, it doesn't have to be in a Facebook group. It can just be something. If you're great at relationships, you know what I mean? Like it can be an event, like you can create it. So I feel like you would be really good at that. And I know you do fun runs and stuff like that.
I was actually thinking about maybe inviting some people over to my house to try the country heat thing on Monday.
Yeah, for sure. There is in the back office, what is it called when you host one of those at your house? I forget. Oh, I saw your lips. Fit Club. But there's directions on how to host a fit club and like talking points. And because, you know, some people that come into network marketing are maybe have great experience from doing Mary Kay or some other kind of MLM where they are encouraged to do some kind of home-based invite group. I personally don't like to do that. However, I would feel totally fine like inviting somebody to come over and work out with me. So anyways, if you're kind of like, I want to do it, but I don't know exactly what to talk about when they're there, go to the Fit Club thing and you can, you know, get some ideas from that. Amy, how about you? I know we can't see your face, but.
Forming is definitely one of them. I think the biggest one for me right now is inviting to coaching.
Okay.
I don't really have any business builders yet, so the bottom two haven't really quite got there yet. But I'd say inviting to coaching is probably my biggest.
Okay. Do you feel, what's your favorite way to invite? Do you prefer like to a sneak peek group? Do you feel like you'd rather send them a call? What do you feel the most comfortable with?
I feel like if I have an event to send them to, that it's a little easier than just send them a call. That's just me, I guess. But
so like a Super Saturday type of thing?
Or no, just like you were saying, like a sneak peek or backstage or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know. Missy, I know you're on the phone. And Lisa, I know you just hopped on, and a couple other people just hopped on video. We're going down a list, like an overview of the business, and I told people to put check marks and question marks next to the things that they are. Check marks what you're comfortable with, question marks what you're could be better on. And the list was forming relationships, inviting to challenge groups, creating advocates, inviting to become a coach, onboarding your team, and developing them into team leaders. So Missy, if you want to, I know you're on there, so if you want to go ahead and unplug yourself and share us what your question marks are.
Okay, it would be 3 through the last one. So the only 2 I feel confident in is forming relationships and inviting to a group. When I have groups, I haven't really been active, but I'm trying to jump back in there.
Okay, and that's totally normal for people that don't necessarily have a total team yet, because you haven't necessarily crossed that bridge. Okay, so
yeah, I've not. I have no team. I have the team above me, but I have no team below me.
Gotcha. So that's what we got to work on, is inviting if you have the first 3, creating advocates, then really it's that next step, right? That inviting to become a coach. So obviously that's the next goal. We all know that if we're on this team call, then you know that that's the business. We're trying to grow that, right? So what I want to encourage you guys to do is all of the things that you have, or Lisa, did you do that little assignment in 5 seconds? Do you have, what would your question mark be?
What was creating advocates? What is that?
Well, like loyal customers, or people that love the products and are basically sharing with other people. Yeah.
I feel confident in all of them besides developing leaders.
Okay, and that's the last one, so it totally makes sense. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, when you know that like YouTube is, you know, the holy grail, or, you know, as far as for learning and stuff like that. So everything that you put a check mark on, just a little homework assignment, is go and research one video on your check mark, just to get a different perspective, okay? So if you were to go into Google or YouTube and you search forming relationships as a Beachbody coach, okay? If you put as a Beachbody coach after every single one of those items, something's gonna come up, whether it's from Top Training, whether it's from somebody who made a video about that, and it's not hearing from me, it's not hearing from Teresa, or it's like just a different perspective said in a different way, right? And it'll just get your mind racing a different way, and you'll become better at mastering that skill. So, and if you have a question mark next to it, if it's one of the top 3, I want you guys to watch at least 3 videos of that so you can master it, right? So for those of you who said, okay, I got the first 3 down, but not so good on the last 3, whatever that next step is. So say you're great at creating advocates, but you're not so awesome at, or you don't feel so comfortable at inviting people to become a coach. Go research 3 videos on that until you feel like, okay, if somebody were to come talk to me, I would feel comfortable in it, right? Just so that you get to hear some different perspectives. I don't know, would you guys actually do that? Because sometimes I know you don't even know what to search on YouTube, or you don't know what to say, but honestly, if you just type in any question that you have of those and put as a Beachbody coach at the end, top coaches are going to have a training on that. Some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are 12, some of them are an hour. Just pick the ones you like and just listen to them. You're going to add value to yourself. That can be your PD for the day, and then you're getting your personal development in where you need to have it in, okay? So hopefully you guys like that little exercise. And then obviously this whole business is just about becoming a master at sharing, inviting, and then following up with people. So just self-reflection time. How good are you at sharing your journey? Okay. Tressa's doing amazing with her, the Ultimate Reset right now, posting all their pictures. Her and Jen Wu are doing it. Total, I can't do that program, so it's total props to you guys. So just ask yourself, like, how much have I been sharing my journey lately? I had a recent couple coach calls, and they're like, hey, you don't really share that much anymore. I was like, dang, I don't. I need to work on that better. So there's no shame in it. It just begins now. You need to start, we have to be comfortable with sharing, and we have to tell ourselves, okay, has it been 3 days since I've shared anything about my journey? Has it been a week? Has it been 2 weeks? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Blow off the past, Hakuna Matata, and you just start today. Start sharing now. And then obviously the inviting, and then following up with them. Because there's people, hopefully, or I had mentioned, Lisa actually set up the team call for next week about the TeamZ training. So if you're having any trouble tracking people, that has helped tremendously with at least following up with people and ranking them, like, okay, this girl has asked about Shakeology. She has asked about this program. She's at the top of my list because she's interested, sometimes we spend so much time trying to find new customers that we kind of forget about the people that were there maybe last month or 2 weeks ago. And I think TeamZ does a great job at that. Okay, so next little section. I wrote this down in one of my notes, and it said, stop doing lists. So whatever you stop doing is more important than what start doing. And that doesn't even sound like right English. Stop doing lists are more important than start doing lists. So you might be sitting here thinking, okay, I got to start watching all these videos. I need to start doing this, start doing that. What's really more important is, what do you need to stop doing? Okay, so make a list. I just want it 3 things. What are things that you need to stop doing? Personally, for me, comparing my coaching journey to somebody else's coaching journey, whether that's a physical transformation, financial, how big their team is, how big their team page is, how active it is, just who cares? It's your team is what it is, okay? So the comparison game can really eat you alive in this business, and you've got to put your blinders on. So I'm just telling you what mine are, but I hope that you're writing your own. And of course, I'm going to call on a couple of you to share them. Okay, checking Facebook every 5 seconds after you post an awesome post to see who liked it. Guilty? Anyone else guilty? Okay, I want to, 15, 30, let's see if it gets to 50 a day. You're literally wasting time unless you're interacting with those people that are commenting, okay? What's the whole, don't post and run? Don't post a really awesome post and then go to the park for 5 hours. Well, that's unrealistic, 2 hours, and then check in. If you post an awesome picture and you know it's going to get a lot of traction, make sure that you're there to keep the momentum going, so that you can and so that you can comment right after. However, if you post a picture of your food, or you don't need to check that. It's probably not going to get crazy interaction, right? It's a good filler. It's something that you needed to do for the day, but it's not something that is going to get a million comments, right? Does that make sense? That's one of my weaknesses, is just seeing how many likes I got. That's wasting my time, especially when my internet's slow and I'm like, come on, Facebook. I'm sitting at a light. Okay, the last one is pushing my goals on others. Just because I have a certain goal, I want to reach, 5-star by this time, I really just need to take a step back and just help the people get whatever your guys' goals are. That's my goal, really. But sometimes my goal, I'm trying to figure out a way to make that happen, because obviously my goals incorporate you guys, right? And that's the whole beauty of the business, is building leaders. For those of you who don't know, the New Leader Conference just got the deadline or whatever got extended by a month, which is awesome for you guys. You should still pretend like it's that day, so you don't postpone it, but they're doing it so that you have more time to grow your team. And the New Leader Conference is for new 2-stars. And it's that thing that me and Tressa and Jen went to last year in California, if you remember. It's just the next level training that helps you with those bottom 3 things: inviting or onboarding people, developing leaders. So it's an amazing conference that you definitely want to be at if you're in the business building business. You know what I'm saying? But they also extended the leadership retreat by 2 weeks. Well, actually, I guess it was a month as well. So I just sent out a big message to my team being like, hey guys, it's realistic now. We can do this in 2 weeks. This is what needs to be done. And I'm so thankful that they made it 1 week later, because now all of my coaches that are like almost coaches or they're almost diamonds, their goals were to be, you know, a diamond at Summit. And now those can kind of all align, because that's the new cutoff. So anybody that is striving for 5-star diamond to go to that leadership retreat, it's now even more realistic because, what's the new deadline? I don't know how to do this chat thing. Sorry. What's the new deadline for the NLC? It's a month later than it was, and I forget. Teresa, do you know what it was? I'll post something. I just found out about it today, so I forget. Lisa, do you know? What is it?
Heck yeah, because I'm going to be there. It's December 31st now. They postponed it 2 months.
Okay.
So, and then that's for the new leader, I believe, at least because Jen had messaged me today. And then the other one for the 5 stars, I think they postponed it 1 month.
Yes. I know that the cutoff is the 28th of this month. And then what you said, but you do have to be a paid 2-star diamond by the end of December 31st, which means you have to hold your rank 5 weeks before that. So look at a calendar and go back 5 weeks, and that's your goal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so do you guys have your list of things you need to stop doing? I'm going to call out Amanda. I feel like picking on you.
Did you say me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I said stop saying no for others, because I do that a lot. I just kind of like assume that this person really wouldn't want me to reach out to them or invite them to certain things. So I think I put limitations on other people by just saying no for them, and then sleeping in way too much lately.
I love it. That's perfect. Do you have a third one, or is that good?
Not yet.
That's good. Okay, you'll come up with it. Those are awesome. I love that, not saying no for other people, because you discount. You're like, oh, they're already fit. They don't need to lose weight. Well, maybe they got really high blood pressure and you just can't tell, or you think that maybe you're not the person to coach them, but guess what? You are. You have everything it takes to coach them. Nikki, how about you?
I have stopped second guessing myself. I have stopped procrastinating, because I am like a huge procrastinator. And I'm a bad comparer as well. So to stop comparing myself to other people, other coaches, other challengers, all of the above.
Awesome. Thank you. And that is something I'm so excited for you to experience at Summit, Nikki, is hearing people stand up that are like, whatever they are, I don't know, 10-star diamond, blah, blah. And they're like, it took me 5 years to get here, 6 years. Who cares how long it took you to get there? They're there, and hearing everybody's story. I think sometimes being on our team and a part of Fitspiration, we're an incredible team, right? Like people just like, oh, let me get a diamond tomorrow. All right. Like sometimes it's like, what the heck? How do these people do it? And they are amazing, but it's nice to hear that there's other people that take a little bit more time, and that it doesn't matter as long as you never give up. Like that's the goal. But so anyways, I like that you shared that. What did I have left next? Hold on. Okay, this was cool. This was from, I think, Michelle Myers at the NLC, actually, was just talking about building your team with a purpose and not a paycheck. Not with sometimes you can recruit people with a business opportunity. That's cool. But they have to stay in this business for a purpose, for the mission of helping people, changing lives, right? You just literally our business is just not built. You have to have passion and heart in this and really want to help others, because we go through so long of a time not making a significant income, and people that are really just here for the income, they will not last, or they will build their business so that they just have to order things under people, and your well will run dry. You feel icky about it because you just need somebody to order 50 PV so you can stay active. And it's like, hey, if they just loved the products and they love Shakeology and they wanted to do the new thing coming out, you don't have to be icky about it. It's a natural thing, right? So just really finding ways to build your team. One thing that I like to do in my PS coach page is recognize people that have a completely active downline. And that's kind of rare. But, you know, as we know, we want to recognize like things that we want to be, you know, implicated. What am I trying to say? I'm sorry. Duplicated, things that we want to happen, right? So if you logged into, how amazing would it be if you logged into your back office and every single one of your coaches were active? That'd be awesome, right? So that's mainly for like our newer coaches that have 3 or 4, or some people have 6 active coaches, but that's a great behavior to recognize because that means that they're building their business on people who love the products or who are sharing it. So, you know, if you're just thinking of new recognition things, that's a really good one to implement into your teams. Let's see. I don't know. I already said that. Okay, so how do we find those people? How do we find the people that love our products and love what we do? So this is a list. This is also from the NLC. Obviously, that's what I was referencing. But who is your target audience? Like, think about it. And if you guys want, this might be a little bit of a reflection time, and I'd love for you guys to go back in and fill this out. So if you can write down these questions and then think about them, I might call on you for a couple of the answers, but for the most part, I just want to use this as a roadmap to really figure out who you're trying to find, right? So who's your target audience? You have to know that. If you're trying to find everybody, you're just going to get a couple. And if you really just target in, I don't know all my business terms, but if you just cast your net, like a smaller net into I don't know, I'm going to stop with that analogy, but you know what I mean. You need a target audience. I heard it somewhere and now it's not coming out. So are you like a fur mom? Do you love animals, right? Are you like looking for other grandmas? Like I love Nikki's coach, Tressa. Like she's a mama or whatever, right? Tressa Baldwin. Nikki, she's a delayed reaction, so I can't see her face, so it's weird. There we go. And she's a grandma, and she's like totally promoting all these things. She's wearing her sexy dress. Like obviously that's going to be her target audience, because that's like, if I was a grandma knitting and I saw her, like I would be totally inspired. So think about who your people are. You know, moms with babies, moms with toddlers, moms with kids going into school. I feel like you can't really just say a mom brand, and several of us on here are moms, but you can really find those hashtags if you're looking for like baby wearing people, or if you're looking for potty training, or you're looking for back to school. So narrowing down basically the age of your kids and kind of targeting them, or your dogs. You know, one of the girls, the Flynn sisters, they created an Instagram account for their dogs, and their dog got more followers than they did, and they got like thousands of followers. So I don't know, you guys are fur moms, like maybe create an account for your dogs and see what happens. Maybe hashtag like the brand, because that's a whole thing out there. I would be really upset if my little Yorkie beat me in like Instagram followers, but it's okay, we would work together. So let's see, looking for like adventurous people, people that need to lose weight, whatever, just really figuring out who you are, who you want on your team, right? How do you plan to connect with them? That's the next thing. Do you plan, and you have to plan it, do you want to find them on Facebook groups? Because this is where you're going to focus your attention. Just pick 2 of these. Are you going to focus your attention on Facebook groups? Are you going to focus on Instagram? Are you going to do it at the park? Are you going to do it at your little league baseball thing? Like pick 2 of those. And like, I love that. I'm like, okay, I can actually make a lot of friends if I sign my daughter up for ballet. Not only do I get to spend time with her and watch her do that, but I'm also going to meet all those moms there. So that is one of my focuses. And I like to meet people like locally. I'm trying to grow my team locally. So think about that for you. Like, just where do you plan to meet these people? And focus your time and make your events and make when you're planning out your day, instead of going running, go to the park or run at the park. You know what I'm saying? Like focus your attention there. Number 3, what are their biggest burdens? Okay. So that can be like they're super duper busy. So they're like just so crazy running from baseball practice. You know, I hear that baseball is the craziest sport. Like there's always something going on. So they're really busy. They need quick on the go snacks or a quick on the go meal like Shakeology. Maybe they lack confidence. Okay, maybe they lack confidence because of the way they feel, which we have products for that. Maybe they're tired, so you can give them the Energize, something that a lot of my working people that are in my challenge groups have really been doing. If they say, oh, I'm so tired when I come, I don't want to wake up early, but I'm so tired when I come home from work that I have no energy to work out. Okay, well, here's what you do. You take Energize, you take a water bottle, and on your way home from work, you shake it up and you drink it. And then when you get out of your car, you're going to be ready to sweat it out with Shanti or something. So just for anybody who has like a normal 9-to-5 job or something, and you know that struggle is real, you just work all day, you don't want to work out, well, Energize will help there. But anyways, going back to that, think about what their biggest burdens are and then how Beachbody can fill that hole. And we can like fill every single hole, you guys. Number 4, how can you help the team, how can you help them solve their problems? Which obviously is everything we just went over. You know that. Meal planning. Maybe it's a really stressed out mom. I'm just kind of talking about myself here. And you suck at meal planning. Like it's just not your forte, okay? Like I totally steal Jen Pratt's meal plans all the time. Like, and I'm just like, all right, that's what I'm going to eat this week because I don't have the time to even sit down and think about it. And maybe somebody else loves meal planning, and that is like, that's what they love to do, okay? Know your gifts. Like, what do you like to do? I know Casey does those like salad in a jars. That's really cool. Like anyways, just know what you're good at and just know that you do have something to offer to people. And then remember that like when you're posting, obviously we're always posting with a purpose, but your audience needs to know that they can do it too, okay? And that they're worth it. A lot of people just don't feel like investing in themselves or whatever. Like, but I don't like, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't like seeing so many posts of people just being like, I don't know, just kind of like bragging, I guess. Like it's cool if you got your workout in that day. It's cool if you ate healthy that whole day, but are you inviting in that post, or is it just a brag post? Like that's when people are like, okay, we get it, you worked out today, but people need to know that they can do it too, that you can help them, and that they deserve to feel how you feel, or they're worth it too. Okay, so just think about that. There's nothing wrong with posting a sweaty pic and all that kind of stuff. Just think about, and I need to do more of it. So please, you're probably sitting there like, preaching to the choir. But just know that you, what was I just saying? You know what I'm saying. I totally lost my train of thought there. But just posting with a purpose and inviting people and just not making it a brag show. Brag show every once in a while, but, you know, and then it feels less icky, you know. I don't know. I feel like, you know, if you just post a sweaty pic, what are you going to talk about? You know, like, did you invite them in that post? So I don't know. That's really all I had for today. Do you guys have any questions about anything we talked about or anything coming up? We got Summit coming up next week. We got Super Saturday. We got Team Cup.
Can I share something real quick?
Yep. Okay.
So I was trying to do this live on the other day in the team page, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'll do it here. So there was something that I learned on the mastermind call that I had like 2 weeks ago, and it helped me so much because I have a very short attention span. And so when I sit to do my power hour, like literally if there's anything going on, I lose focus. And like we were talking about, forming is really hard for me, and like building relationships with people is really hard. And I think it's because of that, because I have to go from like one page to another page. And then before I know it, I'm just sitting there like scrolling through people's pages, and I get back to my own timeline and then notifications. It drives me nuts. So there's a girl who, she's in the mastermind. She always does these crazy Success Club numbers. So her goal was like Success Club 30 last month, and she did it. And so I asked her, I'm like, I need to know how to get these bigger Success Club numbers because I want my team to grow faster, especially over the next 6 months. So she started talking to me about Facebook lists. And so I don't know if you guys know about this, but I was like, this is awesome. So what she does and what I started doing is, so anybody that I've added in my group, or that I've added to my network in the month of July, I create a new list. and it says July 2016. And so I add every single day. Like, you can go, and when you add somebody to your Facebook, if you go to where your friends, where your recently added friends are, you can add them specifically to that list. So now I have this entire, and so my goal is, and that's what she was saying that she does, is that she takes the entire month and she connects with, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that list, every single day, like, I go in now and you can click on the list and it actually filters your newsfeed to where all you can see is those specific list of people. I thought that was such a great, so you have all these coaches that we're constantly interacting with. Facebook puts the people that you interact with the most, at the top of your newsfeed, which is generally coaches. So, but when you click on that list, then it will only pull up the people that you've added to your network, which I love. So I can scroll my newsfeed, but I'm really just scrolling the people that I want to build relationships with. So that's like such a time saver for me. But I think the best part about it is that you can post specifically to that group of people. So if you have a new challenge group coming up and you post it on your wall, and everybody that likes it and sees it are coaches and your challengers that are already following you and already interacting with you, you can actually post specifically to that list of people so that you know that, okay, so if you add 100 people to your network in July, in August, you post about your challenge group to that list, and now you know that 100 new followers are seeing that challenge group. Like, I was thinking about for me with telling my story too. Like, how many times do we tell our story? And you're like, oh, okay, for the love of God, we get it, you're broke, whatever. But, or you were broke, okay. But your new followers haven't heard that story. So you can take that, even if it's like the same, your story, and you can post it specifically to that list so that you're inviting them, they're seeing your story, and you're kind of like building that relationship with them over the month. So my goal for this month is every single person that I add to that list in the month of July gets an invite to my challenge group in August. And so that's what I'm committing to do, which means that I basically have to spend this month building the best possible relationship I can with them, because come August, then they're going to get an invite. And then the other thing that I've been doing is I created an event page for my challenge group, and I invited my new followers, specifically them, just to make sure that they're the ones that are seeing that. And then I sent them a private message saying, hey, I just sent you an invite, to blah, blah, whatever. And just from doing that, I signed 2 coaches the first week of July, which I had such a crappy June. So for me, that was like a huge, because there were so many conversations going on. And in that week that I did that, so I don't know, I've been loving that. And it's really, I've been able to focus this month. So I thought I would share that if any of you guys have ADD like I do.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I think maybe I'm the only one that can see that. I don't know. Can you guys read the chat? Amanda said, can you see your friends list scroll your list on your Facebook phone app too, or just the computer?
That's a good question. I haven't checked it from my phone, but I'm assuming you can, because it's where like everything is on the left-hand side. And so you see your groups and you see friends. And then if you create a list, it's right there under friends. So I'm assuming you can see it from your, and it's like to create it, you go to friends, you click on more, and then you create list. So I even did one for June as well, like for the last 2 weeks of June, putting that in there. And they're the ones that got the invite, the first week of July. So yeah, I love that idea.
That's awesome, Teresa. Thank you. I didn't know that you could, I knew about lists. I didn't know that you can post to that page and they will all see it. So that's awesome. I'm looking at my phone and I don't see lists on there, but maybe it is. Maybe I need to update it. But that's really awesome. I like that. And making that your goal, like everyone that you talk to that month gets an invite. And then you're not talking to old people, you're talking to new people, and that forces you to make new connections. So that's really cool. So where have you been making your new connections to?
What? I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Where have you been making your new connections that you're adding to that list?
I've been just going through my friends list. I have a lot of, I've been added to a ton of like those, what are those leggings? The LuLaRoe groups. So I've friended a lot of people from there as well. But I'm getting a lot of accepts on my friend, what do you call it? My friend requests, which I don't know, I'm getting more now than I did in the past. So I'm wondering if it's just because of, interacting on the pages or having tons of mutual friends. But yeah, I'm trying to like 3 to 5 people every day so that I'm adding 3 to 5 people on that list. And so if I don't have people accept it, then I'll go in and just request some more until I get at least 3 to 5 every day. So that come August, I've got like 100 people to invite to a challenge group.
I love that. And it also, like you were saying with the Facebook AD, I think we can all agree that like we start off wanting to make connections and then we're looking at our best friend's brother's wedding pictures, right? And you're like, how did that happen? I'm supposed to be working. But one thing is that like now that you've been a coach, like most of the people on here have been a coach for a long time, and like your entire feed is probably like coaches, and you want to support them, you want to like them, you want to give them that shout out, right? But then they consume your entire thing, and I'm like, dang, I haven't talked to this girl from high school in forever, and like, anyways, you just start only connecting with coaches, and that's really what the coach pages are for. You know, we want to support each other. So anyways, I encourage you to make a list of all the coaches on our team that you want to support and that you want to like their stuff. And that's what I do personally. I've been unfollowing you guys, and then I add you into a coach list. And then I take 5 to 10 minutes a day and I'll click on that list, and then I can still like and comment on your stuff, but your stuff doesn't show up in my newsfeed. It's just when I'm ready to go, you know, like and comment, right? Does that make sense?
That's a good idea. How do you do that again?
Yeah, so you make a list. So you make a list, and then you add all those people. And then honestly, I just make sure all the people, like anyone in our team is really who I connect with, or my upline people. And you just add their name to that list. And then if you see them showing up on your timeline, you're like, oh crap, I forgot to unfollow them. Maybe there's a more organized way to do it, but basically if I see like a fitnessy post, I just unfollow them and add them to my list so that I know I can still support them, but just they're not consuming my news.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, because you still want to support everybody, you know, and like them and stuff like that, but you just don't want them to overpower, because we're the ones who post all the time, right? But like, not that we don't matter, but like we're trying to make new connections here. So
yeah.
But thank you. That is so awesome. I didn't know that you can post in there and it would definitely go to them. That's cool. Any other questions about that or about anything? No, it's getting late on the East Coast. We all good? Well, thank you so much for hopping on. I'm going to record it and I'll post it in the little team page. And it was good to see you on here, Lisa. I know that you're busy, you know, with Jen's calls. And then what nights are your team calls?
Mine are every other Wednesday. I didn't realize yours were at the same. Maybe that's why I haven't been joining, but my call, they've been kind of dwindling. So maybe I'll team up and, you know, have people come to your calls, because I think the information's great. I remember joining your calls when I first started, and it was really helpful. So I'm going to start coming back in, and, you know, if there's any information I can share that would be helpful, I'd, you know, be happy.
How the heck you get so many successful points, Lisa? Like,
That's what we need you to do.
Secrets.
I don't know. I need help with the, you know, finding the right folks. But no, Teamsy's been helpful, you know, and like Teresa said, I do the same thing. I do lists, but just making new friends, you know, just adding to my network. That's it. And posting a lot. Like I post 3 to 5 times a day, at least.
Yeah.
Lisa, how do you do your referrals? Because I think I remember seeing something about like how, like you get a lot of referrals, right? From your other challengers?
Not too much, but I will, you know, I will, when I send out an email to folks, the first thing I'll say in the email is, if you refer me a challenger or someone who purchases a challenge pack this month, I'll send you a fixate. So I don't automatically offer things up front, but if folks are on the fence, and also another thing I'll do, like you were talking about, I think Melissa, about following up with folks, not just focusing on new people, but Teamsy's helped me with that, following up with people who have inquired in the past. You know, instead of harassing them, because I'm not trying to harass them, then I will message them and say, hey, you know, just wanted to let you know this week only, you know, if you purchase a challenge pack by tomorrow, I'm offering a fixate. So that kind of motivates them, because I don't offer it to folks up front, but if they're on the fence, that's another way to kind of hook them in.
Awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, like, I mean, we're coaches, we make up our own rules. So yeah, I'm having a sale today. Or, you know, like, I mean, we all do it. There are no rules. Definitely towards the end of the month, I'm always like, oh, I'm offering a personal, you know, like somebody was like, oh, can I have an image of the special? Like she wanted a website saying like, oh, no, just something that I kind of put together and just last minute, whatever. So feel free to make up your own rules. You do what you want. And yeah, like Lisa said, like you don't just be like, hey, want to buy a challenge pack for half off, or 75% off? No, that's only when like desperate times or desperate moments, But yeah, Lisa, you always do amazing numbers. And like me and Teresa share the team calls. So like one week I'll host it, the next week she'll host it. So if you want to get in on our rotation, I would love to learn and hear from you too. So like, and what we do is I just post this and crap, I didn't post it in your team page tonight, Teresa. But we post the link and then we post it in each other's team page. So if you feel like you would rather not, because it's a lot of work to put together a team call and stuff like that. And what I would like to get back to doing is having a coach spotlight. So Amanda or Casey or Nikki, like one week we're going to highlight a coach. So whoever is hosting that team call, they can host their own new coach. And if you don't feel like doing it, maybe host one of your own coaches. And you're just like, hey, this is my new coach and she just got started, just to hear everyone's story. I love hearing about how people got started with Beachbody and stuff. So anyways, just throwing that out there, Lisa, if you want to hop in our rotation.
I'd be cool with that, yeah.
We can all learn from each other. Casey, you don't need to be a certain rank. Anyone that wants to host a team call, please, like, if you're passionate about, like, oh, I can rock Facebook groups or I'm great at challenge groups, just message us and be like, I want to host a team call, like, boom, we'll sign you up next day. Not that we don't like doing these, but we have to like prep for them, and that's why we end up sometimes like putting out a recording because we're like, crap, didn't prepare for that one. So if you ever want to take a step up and there's something that you're passionate about and you want to talk about it, well, let us know. We got you. So anyways, this is running super late, so we'll let you guys go in, but thank you so much for hopping on. Bye, guys. See most of you.
Bye, thanks.
Or 2 weeks, and we can hug in real life. Bye.
Bye.